Here in Washington, D.C., on February 17th, Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, CREW, an ethics watchdog, requested that an investigation be launched into the activities of the Armenian National Committee of America, ANCA, by the Department of Justice, the Internal Revenue Service, and both the House and the Senate. CREW's complaint cites a number of violations of the organization's tax status, potential violations of the Foreign Agents Registration Act, and possible illegal campaign finance and lobbying violations. The announcement further states that both ANCA WR and ANCA Endowment Fund, which share offices and a common website, have participated in political campaigns in violation of federal tax law, which specifically bars groups organized under Section 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code from participating in political campaigns. Nevertheless, on October 24, 2008, ANCA announced its endorsements of 15 candidates for the United States Senate and 211 candidates for the United States House of Representatives, and published these endorsements on its shared website with ANCA WR, www.anca.org. The Foreign Agents Registration Act, FARA, requires agents of foreign political parties to register with the Department of Justice, periodically report and describe their activities aimed at influencing policies of the United States, and to disclose the dissemination of information, including testimony before Congress. According to the CREW complaint, ANCA is closely associated with the Armenian Revolutionary Federation, a self-described political party which is part of the ruling coalition government of the Republic of Armenia. In 2005, the then chairman of the Central Committee of the ARF for the Eastern region of the United States explained that ARF's political efforts are conducted through the ANCA offices in Washington. In 2006, the U.S. Embassy in Yerevan prepared a study of the Armenian American community and found the ARF's U.S.-based political advocacy arm is the Armenian National Committee of America, ANCA. ANCA is the principal political spokesperson for ARF policies in the United States. Nevertheless, ANCA has never registered under FARA or continued to disclose requirements. The Lobbying Disclosure Act requires lobbyists to file disclosure reports with the Secretary of the Senate and the Clerk of the House. In fact, ANCA publicly has claimed to lobby on several occasions, taking credit for persuading 9 members of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee to push the nominee for ambassador to Armenia to clarify U.S. policy on the Armenian genocide debate, persuading lawmakers to block U.S. financing for a railway that would have linked Turkey, Georgia, and Azerbaijan, but not Armenia, and seeking passage of 1992 legislation excluding Azerbaijan from a list of former Soviet republics available for U.S. aid. ANCA has previously been in the news when its chairman at the time, Murad Topalyan, was indicted on charges related to terrorist attacks against Turkish diplomatic missions in the United States. He served 3 years in prison. In 2000, ANCA presented Murad Topalyan with the Freedom Award for his dedication to advancing the Armenian cause, praising his unique brand of leadership in driving forward and promoting Armenian history and the cause of the Armenian nation. TCA is encouraged by the efforts of the new Congress and the new administration to put an end to corruption and impropriety in government. We commend CREW for its work on monitoring the enforcement of laws that uphold the ethical integrity of our public officials and those who seek to influence them. America's best interests are served only when there is a level playing field for all who seek to petition the government. These organizations have yet to provide a response to the allegations made by CREW. The Turkish Coalition of America, TCA, in cooperation with the United Negro College Fund Special Programs, National Congress of American Indians, and the American Indian Higher Education Consortium, has organized a visit to Turkey for a delegation of faculty from minority-serving institutions, MSI, including historically black colleges and universities and tribal colleges and universities. The visiting delegation arrived in Turkey on January 7th and will remain in Turkey until January 17th. The purpose of the visit was to build bridges between MSIs and Turkish universities and, among other things, promote Turkey as a study abroad destination for African American, Hispanic American, and Native American students, lay the groundwork for faculty and student exchanges between Turkish universities and MSIs, and promote the establishment of African American and Native American studies departments at Turkish universities. TCA spearheaded this effort in early 2008 by establishing a scholarship program with funding for 100 scholarships to aid American minority students to study in Turkey. Here is a report on the visit.
On the first day of the visit, the delegation had the opportunity to visit a number of the historic sites around Istanbul, including the Blue Mosque, which was built between 1609 and 1616 by Mehmet Aga, a student of the great Sinan, with 260 windows named for the beautiful tiles which give the mosque its interior color. The Blue Mosque is one of the world's great buildings with its 6 slender minarets gracing the outside, while the interior is a sea of blue. Just in front of the Blue Mosque is the Hippodrome, which is similar to the Circus Maximus in Rome, where during the Roman occupation of Istanbul they held chariot races. It features the oldest column in Istanbul, the monolith obelisk, originally erected by Ptolemy III in Karak, Egypt. Both Constantine and Julian the Apostle had ordered the governor of Egypt to send them the obelisk, but it was not until 390 AD that this one was erected here by Theodosius I. Just across from the Hippodrome is the Hagia Sophia. The Hagia Sophia is generally regarded as one of the most magnificent of all Byzantine churches and is one of the world's finest and largest architectural works of art. It was built between 532 and 537 AD under the rule of Emperor Justinian. When the Byzantine Empire collapsed under the attack of Mehmet II on May 29, 1453, Islam became the state religion of what is now known as Turkey. On that day at noon, Mehmet II called the Muslims to prayer from St. Sophia, thus converting it into a mosque. It is now a museum where early Christian mosaics and Islamic calligraphy live side by side. When it was converted to a mosque, the Christian artwork was covered up and the Muslim symbols were put in their place. However, they were not destroyed, which showed dedication to history on the part of the Mehmet II. So now both the Muslim and the Christian works of art are preserved. The next stop was the Topkapi Palace. It was the private residence and the seat of the Ottoman sultans from 1465 through 1853. With its spectacular porcelain and jewel collection, the first buildings were constructed during the time of Fatih Sultan Mehmet, the Conqueror, who lived from 1451 through 81.
Turkey is really at the crossroads of civilization. I already mentioned that many of the sites of world civilization, the history of world civilization sort of have passed through Turkey.
I will be encouraging students to come to Turkey. Turkey is a place that enables students to develop a perspective on the Middle East as well as Europe. It is far more European than Americans realize, far more American than Americans realize. I know that students will be comfortable here, and the amount that they will be able to learn, gain from this experience is endless.